When people ask me what was the best part of the cycling trip or sum up your cycling trip, the one thing I always tell them is it was the best thing I've ever done for myself. And when I say that, it's because I learned more about myself on this trip. I was enriched more than in any other experience. I really came to see what was important to me. It's amazing what happens when you kind of pull a lot of variables out of your life and really simplify it down. You pull out the rat race of work, and you pull out the technological stimulants of computers and TVs and radios and whatnot, and you're just down to the bare bone basics. You kind of have simplified things so much that your mind is going to retreat to a more natural, almost childlike state in some respects. And this kind of allows you to look more into your own true inner nature. And that's what the most important part of the cycling trip was for me. We got caught in a tornado-warned storm on the home stretch. This was in Indiana. I didn't get too many interviews of people from Indiana through New Jersey. We were just trying to kind of book it home at that point. But we had a tornado-warned storm, and the weather got really bad for a little bit. We had a lot of lightning, and the cell came over with the tornado being produced about 2 miles past us. So we didn't actually see the tornado, but it was forming as it came over us. I can't really go back to seeing my old lifestyle the way I did before this trip, now that I've done it. I see things, I see the potential of how to live a vibrant life, how to really make it something worthwhile, and how to really enjoy every day in a way that hopefully won't be too stressful and that will make me feel good about myself. Those are the kind of insights I had on my trip. And that's the reason why I push people to do something like this. Even if it's not cycling across America, I push them to do something like this just once in their life, because it'll open up a whole new way of looking at things, a better way of looking at things. Our life is very secure, it's very predictable in the more modern, run-the-mill way. You go to college and then you get a job, you get married, you might work for some big corporation in some office, and it's a pretty straightforward path. And a lot of people are afraid to break away from that path. I know I sure was before doing this trip. But just for that little bit of extra risk, that little bit of fear, to conquer that and see the potential is such a beautiful gift. And that's why I really push people to do something like this. We spent the one day talking to truckers because the weather was too bad to travel on, so here's a few stories from truckers in Indiana. Some good life lessons and some exciting stories.
Enjoying it. If you don't love what you're doing, that ain't enjoying life. Well, it's TV things. This is the movies, I'm telling you, because you go down to New York, that place is nasty. I mean, you can be dry if it's raining. That's honest God. If it's raining and you're sitting there, if you get in the traffic jam right there right in town there, look at the curb and look at all the drug stuff going down the street. Needles, syringes, all that junk going right down into the sewer line. I told my dispatcher, I said, please don't send me back up there. I said, because I won't go. I said, that'll be the first load that I refuse to take, is the next one to New York. I'm from the South, and you neighborly to everybody. Be friendly, get along, help each other out, whatever. But them people up there are just plumb out rude. Ungodly, nasty. And instead of having a kind word to say to you, they want to smart off. Yeah, it's just,
yeah.
If you want to go to a nice place, go to the South. That's where it's all happening. Now, radio, the regular stations up here ain't worth a crap. Yeah, regular stations up here ain't worth a crap.
You got satellite?
Yeah, you get satellite service and everything.
spent quite a bit down in Nashville too. Cause I like the beach and I loves to honky tonk. But the place that I go home is where I never have to feel
And you've
alone.
been running all kinds of
It's the
things.
place where I was raised and I was born. And the grass don't look much greener, and life can't get no sweeter. I got a funny single.
What's that?
I'm Southern.
Southern, man. Where's that?
And there's no need.
That's
But now
good.
there are a lot of paperwork. Well, you got a college degree though. You
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, I gotta do it all. You gotta keep a log. That's your logbook?
No, the logbook.
Oh, there's your logbook.
That's mine. Where I'm going, and I got it on GPS.
Okay.
But you got so many different routes that you check your map with your what they give you, your directions,
Yeah.
and make it coincide, and then I use that right there.
Okay.
And if the good Lord's willing, I'ma keep
But yeah,
on
it's not
chilling.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I got TV, everything I got at home.
What is it?
That's $7 a can up here.
Oh, chewing tobacco? Wow.
Even got a pair of
Oh, that's great.
Trucks started moving around. They started moving around a lot, so then I figured, this is it. I'll be doggone if I gonna catch them dead naked. You know what I'm saying? So I got dressed. Well, anyway. Tried the video, record the lightning and everything. Too bright to do that. Then it started hailing, thought it was gonna bust the windshield. Truck was doing all of this. And then it was like no time flat, it just kind of like faded out entirely. You know. I found out the next morning, less than a mile away from me, stuff was totally devastated. It was like a 4 or a 3 or some tornado.
Lori grew up on a farm, and she's like, farmers, we learned how to do everything on our own. And indeed, she had set up a system at this independent store she was working at now where the air conditioner collected all the water and watered all her plants, which she would sell and make part of her living off of. And I really admire that because not only is it environmentally friendly, but you are making a device and then you're using it to your own good. And she says, yeah, that's what farmers do.
Wow. So see, I'm capturing it into that 250-gallon tank, and then I have a sub pump in there. And when I need to water my flowers out here, I've got my hoses hooked to the sub pump. I plug the sub pump in, and there you go. I can water everything.
Wow.
Last year, and I sold flowers all spring long, and I'm talking about hundreds of baskets all spring long, and then I end about July 4th, and then in the fall I do mums. And only in the fall when I had about 300 or 400 mums at one time. Did that not generate enough because it was cool enough that it wasn't kicking off a lot of water, or I had to use town water.
Okay.
So for a year-long period, you know, that's a pretty good. When that tank gets full, then I'll pump it into the accessory tank. If it's overflowing, you know, just so that we have backup.
Backup water. A lot of people will tell you they have trouble living in the moment, living in the here and now, and not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, and just being completely caught up with what's going on right now. In that case, cycling might be a good thing for you because there's a lot to pay attention to. You're constantly going through new environments, and if you're with other people, they can kind of keep you distracted from your thoughts. And so being out there on the road is really good for really being attuned to the moment. And I think that's one reason that a lot of people do something like this, is to really step back from the kind of rat race or treadmill that you're used to, and to let go and just kind of be free for a little bit. You might also realize out on the road, some people do, some people don't, that you can almost do anything you want. You really can. I mean, how you define success might be unrealistic in terms of what kind of goals you want to achieve. But in terms of how you want to live your life, it really is up to you. And you come to realize you don't have to do it the way others do it.
You get close enough,
You just make the one out here.
you might see their little big parking lot.
Wow.
You go, there you go, there's two of them. Oh, look how big it, got it? Look, they're almost ready to come out. There's Mommy just flew up. On the back porch, we usually get anywhere 3 to 6 hummingbirds. Oh, they go, and them things, they buzz around our heads. And I love it. I mean, even the wife. And there was a building here, had rattlesnake skins in it. My neighbor come down and he took the building down. He could use it for his chicken coop. And, you know, I was easy. Come on down, anything you want. I'm a good neighbor. So I say everybody waves. I mean, that's the thing.
As soon as you get back into New Jersey, you do notice a faster way of life that you really only see in some of the other big cities throughout the country. And it feels more rushed, and there's a lot more traffic, and you kind of do notice a vibe change.
Just like to say that living's too fast in New Jersey. People need to take their time and look around and get to know each other and stop and talk to each other and see what's going on instead of just rushing by and worrying about making as much money as they can.
Yeah.
And buying the biggest house and biggest car that they can. There's a price to pay for having an affluent society. And then when it's threatened, they're like, now what do I do? You know, what do I do? What do I do? You know, the people that took down the World Trade Center, most of them, they found out lived in New Jersey for a while. And I think we live in a massive state of paranoia in this state. And I think that's really compounding the economic issue. People are like really not feeling safe. And I feel really bad. I'm a teacher, and I feel really bad for the young people growing up that have to grow up in a world and environment like that.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up in a world of safety as teenagers and young adults.
Right.
They're growing up like, you know, we live in a police state because of terrorists.
Yeah.
I never did actually end up biking to the shore and finishing the trip, at least not yet. It felt right just to end the trip at my house. That felt like the ending point. And it furthers the idea that it's about the journey, not the destination. Home felt like the right place to end it, and I'll bike down to the shore one of these days. It's only about 50 miles. But it just felt so right to conclude the trip there that that's where it ended, right at home.
Soil is a living thing, just like
Nobody looks at it, it's just dirt. No, it's like the universe, it's like it's infinitely small.
What is the plant? What is the general, like generally, there used to be like a plant.
I don't want to.
And it's all about believing in nature, you know, or being one with nature.
The trade is consummated here.
Everybody's within an earshot and we can just roll. Where y'all going? I mean, where you...
But he did a 30-day trial after a lifetime of good health care.
Yeah.
Across the United States.
This is corporation of corporate success, but more.
I put it to corn a lot because I would turn off.
And I don't make that much money doing this, but I enjoy this. That's why I
two batteries,
I had about 300 or 400 moms at one time.
I'm a good neighbor.
Come on, you know, it's like they're looking at me like I'm the problem.